This is the All Things Nerd Podcast, Season 4, Episode 8. On tonight's show, roll for initiative, because we're going to be talking about the Avengers doing a D&D campaign, tumors and violinists playing while they're being removed, and Joker has a new girlfriend. That and much, much more. So here's the intro. Hello to all the Geek Enthusiasts and Nerd Aficionados. This is Meth 5150 back after 2 weeks of a hiatus. I'm back here to host the show. I'm back for the All Things Nerd Podcast. This is Season 4, Episode 8. This podcast is brought to you by malice-corp.com. Not a sponsor, because that is also us, but you should go check out the website, because that's where you can listen to previous episodes or see other things that are going on in the world of all things nerd. I am your host for this cast, Mess 5150. And how we always like to start this cast out, we start out with a little bit of a thing called getting your geek on.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Well, getting your geek on is the things that we've been doing for the last week, the stuff that we've done to kind of tickle our nerd fancy that we think you should be checking out, that you should be looking into. I will tell you right now, the number one thing that I did today, waiting for it forever, and now that you only get one episode at a time with no commercials, it is so short. The first episode of Clone Wars Season 7 I watched today, and it's magical. It was a good episode. I really looking forward to the rest of the season. But man, no commercials, no binging. It goes by too fast. So that's been my geek out. And you guys should check it out if you have Disney Plus. Also joining us on the cast, we have Masonic Vader. What have you been geeking out on, sir?
How you doing, sir? You know what? This is crazy as this sounds. Yes, I am also totally stoked. We watched that episode 6:45 this morning with my son. It was all things glorious. My son and I have also gone backwards in time, and now we are playing Fortnite. So I am now a Fortnite guy.
You did it. Is it because Deadpool got added to it?
Oh no!
You know what? That was an added bonus, but I started the week before, so I can't necessarily give Deadpool all the credit, but it did keep me on there.
well, I still won't do it. I'm not doing it. I'm not trying. Staying away. Also joining us on the cast, we have Aaron. What have you been geeking out on, sir?
So surprisingly enough, I haven't gone the way of the Clone Wars yet, because I can't do what you guys do. I don't have the discipline. I'll watch one episode and I'll get pissed because I can't have more. So what I've been doing is I've been staying with the things that I've been geeking out on for the past month, which is I am now on book either 6 or 7 of the Dresden Files. And I don't know if you guys have read these books, but they're fantastic. And my sister's going to kick my ass because I'm finally coming around and I didn't tell her that I'm reading them now. But yeah, worth a read or a listen, depending on what medium you take it in on. But if you haven't read them, Dresden Files, definitely check it out.
It's a great book series. And they had the TV show they tried to make that was not so great.
Yeah, I didn't buy into the books, the TV series either. But the books are fantastic. Nice mix of hard-boiled detective film noir novels with some wizarding and some supernatural elements. It's a good blend, a good balance. I like the way that Jim Butcher's writing his books.
We also have a bearded master joining us on the cast. What have you been geeking out on, sir?
Oh, I've been geeking on a few different things. I've been actually trying to get caught back up on Riverdale. Got stopped like the end of last season after Luke Perry died. Stopped watching it. Finished last season and now getting ready to start this season since I'm like half a season behind. So getting caught up on that. Started Clone Wars again. Started that a couple weeks ago. And then I've been like not going to the movies very much lately and started getting back in the movies yesterday. Went and saw Fantasy Island last night. And
what?
If you're into it, Blumhouse hits another one, man. Blumhouse knows what they're doing. It's a good movie.
Hey,
Blumhouse is amazing. Which movie was that?
Fantasy Island.
It ended up being good.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's a good movie.
But do we get a little guy yelling the plane?
Probably not.
Yes.
Kinda.
Kinda.
Okay.
They went all the way.
So here's the thing, like they saved that moment till the end. We'll put that right there. But it's the names are pretty similar. It was just cool. It's a suspense thriller. It's not necessarily a horror movie like a lot of Blumhouse movies really aren't horror movies, but they have that horror setting. It's just a suspenseful thriller, and it's based around Fantasy Island. And it was, I don't know why. I knew that Michael Pena was making a Fantasy Island remake movie. And I know when I saw Blumhouse Fantasy Island, I don't know why, but for some reason it just didn't click Fantasy Island. And then I'm watching the movie and the end happens. I'm like, oh, snap. That's right. Fantasy Island. I'm an idiot.
It's like that light bulb that pops on in your class.
But it was good. The cast is a solid cast all the way around. It's a good movie. Michael Rooker's in it, so you gotta love that.
Yeah, Blumhouse does good work, man. I
Absolutely.
mean, even their lower budget stuff, like they did what's that movie with Karen Gillan, Oculus.
I was looking at their stuff last night because I was like, oh, they did these couple movies. And I was telling my girlfriend about them, and then all of a sudden I was like, well, then you might know these movies. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh, these are like big movies: Insidious, Purge, Conjuring. All these different like series of movies. Like, oh crap, forgot Blumhouse.
Yeah,
behind all of these movies.
They've got a lot of stuff. Sinister, The Gallows, Insidious.
Yeah, it's not all torture horror. So
right.
It's not.
Gallows 2 coming out this year.
They even did they teamed with Jordan Peele to do Get Out.
Yeah, he did both of his Jordan Peele movies. He did both of those ones.
Yep. And Happy Death Day.
Both of them, part 1 and 2.
Good track record.
So definitely if you're into Blumhouse movies, that's kind of what sold me on it. So that's why we went and watched it. But yeah, it's definitely a movie worth watching. I thought it was a good one.
Okay, so in the chat, couple things. Number one, Sir Talmor, thank you for the follow. He joins us and says, "What's up, guys?" We also got, apparently, you look like one of the members of Slipknot, Mick Thompson, Bearded Master. So
Wonderful.
He will take that. From all the other names we call him, he will definitely take that one.
And Josh Callis says Blumhouse is good. He says Blue House is good, but I think he meant Blumhouse. Lastly, on the cast, they like to call him Raider. I like to call him Nick. Nick joins us on the cast. What have you been geeking out on?
So have y'all got to check out yet the show that I recommended last week?
No, and I want to because I keep hearing so much
The
about it.
Outsider. Amazing. Awesome show.
That's the Statham, or not the Bateman show, right?
Yeah, Bateman helps produce it.
Yeah.
But if you're expecting Bateman to be in the whole entire series, then you'll be disappointed, but it is still an amazing show. Watch it. I cannot stress it enough. It's a great show. It's on HBO. I've also been nerding out on Star Wars The Force Awakens. Awesome game. Really nerding out on that.
I thought you were going to say you're finally watching the movie.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you're catching up. All right, buddy.
No, not The Force Awakens. No, what was it? Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh,
I don't know why I
okay.
said The Force Awakens. Jedi Fallen Order.
I was about to say,
Awesome
I
game.
only remember the Lego version of Force Awakens. So, all right.
Josh Callis says Force Awakens is a good game. Loads of replayability. So I guess the Force Awakens game is good as well.
Yeah, it's
all the
not
Lego
a game, but
all of the Lego games, the entire Star Wars Skywalker saga on Lego is amazing.
Well, Force Awakens was like one of the first games after like KOTOR, and that was like the one where you play as like Vader and you have the actual like force grab and everything.
That's Force Unleashed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. My bad.
Force Awakens, they did a Lego version of all those games. And they did they released the entire saga. You have episode 1 through episode 9, and you can play them all together. They're brilliant.
Okay. So HJZ Grok also says yay to the new dang it, the book that you're reading, the Dresden Filer. Yay to welcome to being a Dresden Filer. And that the Outsider book by Stephen King is fantastic. So you should probably check that out as well if you like the show. Yeah, so that's it. That's what we've been geeking out on. And now we're going to do something new because we didn't get to do it last week. They didn't have time for it. We're going to play a little game, and it's called What a Twist.
Twist and shout.
Let's do the twist. It's a twister. It's a twister.
What a twist.
So, what a twist is taking a movie plot summary and we'll be doing this anytime around the holidays. So this was supposed to be during Valentine's Day, but because they didn't have time, we're going to do the Valentine's themed one today. But taking a movie plot, twisting the movie plot idea around to be themed towards that holiday, hence Valentine's Day, and seeing if you can guess what movie it is. I will give you a hint of a quote if you need it, but I just wanted to see if you guys have fun with this. If you think you guys know what the movie's about, let us know in the chat room. I'm going to go from left to right on my screen, and that means the first person up is going to be Aaron.
All right.
You ready for this, Aaron?
Sure.
He's not ready for this.
I'm going to read you with this.
Never ready. Always willing, though.
I'm going to read you what this new plot detail is. Two romantic losers invent a new way of finding love on Valentine's Day. Heart aches, a hybrid of chocolate hearts and delicious cakes. In their success, a greedy businessman schemes against them to take over. Any idea what the original movie was?
Holy crap. Ooh. God, that's so generic. No, it could be anything.
I'm not making this easy.
This game is generic.
Okay. Do you want the quote?
Yeah, sure.
So this is also spun into a Valentine's. The quote is, "What an unfortunate thing to happen on Valentine's night." If anybody else has any guesses, because Aaron's not getting it, go ahead.
No, I have no idea.
I'm checking the chat room to see if everyone's got it. I don't see anything yet. Guys, if you're in the chat room and you heard those, try to throw your things in. It's definitely not Deadpool.
You want me to read the plot one more time for you?
Yeah, go for it.
Two romantic losers invent a new way of finding love on Valentine's Day. Heart aches, a hybrid of chocolate hearts and delicious cakes. In their success, a greedy businessman schemes against them to take over.
Weird Science.
No, good guess, though. Okay, it's basketball.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because there was like 30 people that watched that movie, and
Two losers.
And honestly,
make a hybrid game become
two
successful.
losers inventing something is the last thing that you think of when you think of basketball.
Yes. And the quote was off of Bob Costas saying, "What an unfortunate thing to happen on Dozen Egg Night."
What an unfortunate thing to happen on Dozen Egg Night.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay.
We're gonna skip over Vader because he knows about these. So we're going straight to Bearded Master. Bearded Master, are you ready?
Let's do it.
As students at the Cupid Elite Archers and Heart School compete to be the best in love connections, one daring young Cupid learns a few things from a civilian romantic that is not taught in the classroom.
Yeah, God, what's the quote on this one?
The quote is, "I feel the yearning for love."
Oh my God. I know it now.
Maybe you should have did it the way they did it, just to kind of. We could do a virtual high five if you want.
No,
Josh tells us
just
like a horror movie.
From the quote, I know it.
Well, if you look at the chat room, they all know it.
Yeah. That's. I just saw it right now. I looked down, and I was like trying to place the quote. I knew the quote. I'm trying to place it, but
It's Top Gun.
yeah, it's right there.
Have a yearning for love and high five.
The need for speed.
I feel the need for speed.
High five me, sir. High five me. Yes.
Okay. Next film to you, Nick. A team of romance gurus led by a firm yet tender romantic embark on a love rescue. But once they arrive, they find they have been sent under false pretenses, looking for love in all the wrong places, which is the least of their worries when they find out they're methodically being chosen one by one to have their Valentine's Day plans canceled. I did not make these easy.
What is a quote?
The quote is, "Run, go, get to the chocolates."
Predator.
Yep. Yeah.
Somebody got one right.
Yay!
And now, Masonic.
Get to the chocolates now!
Get to the chocolate.
Get to the chocolates now!
Run! Go!
to the chopper!
All right, Masonic. I wrote 2 more today so that you could be part of this.
Oh
This
man,
one.
I was hoping you would, but all right, let's go for it.
Romance at an office party is thwarted by lovesick foreigners hoping to steal a large load of chocolates and
Die
roses.
Hard, Die
Yep.
Hard.
I knew that one.
Yes.
Yeah,
Didn't even need it all.
The quote was going to be, "Come out for Valentines. We'll get together, have a few chocolate hearts."
Come out to the coast. We'll get together. Have a few laughs.
You laughs.
And I'll throw out the last one. Anybody can
Yippee
get
guy,
that.
mother flower.
And Jack says, "Wow, we all fail at romance."
Heart, heart, heart. Now I have a machine gun.
The last one that I put together is, "A perfect man in every sense of the word goes in search of his long-lost love that is the complete and utter opposite of him."
Huh.
Let's see, because we can't have dead. You know, just trying to say something. Perfect man goes to find his opposite.
Remember, we're replacing words, so things aren't what they seem. You guys want the quote?
Yeah,
Terminator.
we gotta have the quote.
"Money talks and roses walk. How can roses walk?"
I talk bullshit walks. Bullshit walk. I don't know. What the hell was that?
Jack got it. Jack
Jack got it?
It's twins.
Really?
Ooh.
Oh, shit.
Safe to say I haven't watched that one since, well, let's just say when it came out in the movie theaters. God knows how long ago.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I was a kid last time I saw that.
I know.
Money talks and bullshit walks. How can bullshit walk?
But I thought this would be a little fun kind of game to have, do around the holidays. Every single holiday that comes up, we'll flip it to whatever the holiday theme is for that film. What do you guys think?
All right. Well, we definitely
It's
need to do
awesome. I can't wait. I can't wait for Arbor Day.
That one might be a little hard.
Birthday.
Oh, Josh said he got it first. He actually said twins first. So
We can do a St. Patrick's Day one.
Hell yeah.
yeah, no, there will be a St. Patrick's Day one for sure. So next week's game is, of course, what the upfronts, because at the end of every month we do the guessing. We guess what a TV show is about based off its name. So come back next week for that.
Ruru 2 did suggest Shark Week.
Is that a holiday now?
It
Might as well
practically
be.
is, yeah.
Rurutu said the Arnold Danny movie. Yes, that's
Which
what-
one? Wait, there was this one where there was a nice guy. And, no, wait, they didn't play in the same movie. Never mind.
No. So, all right. So with that, now we get into the main meat and potatoes of the show, and that is the nerd news. First story is our medical science story. So the like I said, bad with names, but Dagmar Turner, I think is her name. She's 53. She plays for the Isle of Wight Symphony Orchestra in Southern England. Had a brain tumor that was removed while she played the violin. Reason being, the tumor was so close to the parts of the brain that control micro movements of left hand required to regulate violin's pitch and timbre, that they woke her up in the middle of the surgery, had her play so they could see if they were doing any damage. Monitoring her, they were able to remove 90%, including areas of suspicious aggressive activity, and retain full function of the left hand. Just wanted to get thoughts on that whole craziness of...
Well, it doesn't surprise me at all because I've read other stories about them waking up patients that they're doing brain surgery on to have them do calculus, to have them do just fine motor functions to make sure that they're not damaging any parts of the brain. So I thought it was awesome that they wake up to play the violin, something that knew well, something that could test her motor function, something that could test her fine tuning. And I thought it was genius. So yeah, and it's a really cool story. Just to
what was more awesome was the fact that they actually recorded it and you could actually watch it. So there's the video out for it. It's amazing watching this person play the violin like nothing's going on, tube up her nose, probably halfway through anesthesia. And of course, yeah, you can't see it, but her freaking skull is off and brain exposed behind it. That's crazy. That is amazing.
Ray Liotta style.
Exactly. Exactly.
We're going to Hannibal. Is that really where we're going to go?
Yes, we are.
Why not?
Yes, we
How
are.
many other situations do you see with the person missing the top of their head?
No, I mean, that's what this doctor said. And this doctor is really renowned. Professor Ashcan, I'm just going to say his last name. I'm not even going to try and pronounce his first name, but Professor Ashcan, or as Ash, as he likes to be called, he's really well renowned. I tried to look him up to be able to pronounce his first name, and nobody said his first name, which means that a lot of people butcher it. But he's won all these awards and stuff, and they talked about the whole procedure that when they were doing the brain scans, they even talked about how they were going to lay her on the table in order to put her in the position to be able to do the violin. And he's like, we've woken up people all the time to get speech, calculus, things like that. He's like, never once have we have them play the violin while they're doing it. So it went viral. It was a crazy thing. And yeah, getting to watch it and see her perform, and everybody's just like, good. Now give us a louder note.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. But what's crazy about it is like they woke her up to make sure they didn't damage anything further. But so like when they're up there cutting away, like how precise and gentle and soft do they have to be? Just like one little touch and just offsets her. But they're like letting it to where, oh, that's a little off key. You got to cut a different section of that. The precisiveness that the doctors have to have in order for her to still be able to play and not to cause any damage to that. It's just the science and medicine is just absolutely amazing.
Josh Callis in the chat says, hey, I didn't feel it when they drilled my forehead open, and that was in a little side office. I feel like there's more to this story.
Yeah. That sounds like another cast, sir.
That sounds like an abduction.
That sounds like Candy Mountain. Do you still have your liver, sir? Wonders of magic and joy.
Okay. It was just a really good-hearted, cool thing to see, to watch. The video, of course, will pop up here while I have the edited version, and you can see it happening. But I mean, check it out if you want to hear the audio on it and everything. But yeah, she will be able to still perform with the orchestra. They didn't damage anything at all, and to be able to remove 90% is huge. So,
and not too far off from being able to play with them again.
Yeah, she said hopefully very soon that she'll be able to go perform with them. So
I mean, that's kind of crazy if you think about it, man. You have to follow up that. So if someone gives her some kind of stuff, hey, can you play that? Well, of course I could play it. I just played when I had brain surgery at the same time. Follow that one up, buddy.
Ruru 2, for his next trick, he will perform brain surgery on a concert pianist with a grand piano in the operating room.
By Jerry Lee Lewis doing Great Balls of Fire.
Wow. Didn't they already did something like that in an episode of House, didn't they? I'm pretty sure.
Josh says, I had cancer in my forehead from a piece of DPU round fragment lodged in my forehead that caused an aggressive form of skin cancer, and they carved it out. I have a cool scar now. Well, we're glad that you're still with us, and I hope the scar looks like a lightning bolt, because that would just be awesome to be a Harry Potter scar.
What?
It's on the forehead. That's what comes to mind.
Yeah. Harry Potter, man.
I'm just glad that you're okay and you're with us. All right, on to the next story. So last week, you guys played a little game where you guessed who was the number one superhero or villain couple, and the number one answer was Joker and Harley Quinn. Well, DC Comics decided, screw that. We're gonna pee in your Cheerios and change it all up because artist Jorge Jimenez and writer James Tinian IV have created a character called Punchline, who is meant to be a breakout character and replaced Harley Quinn as her polar opposite and be Joker's new girlfriend and henchwoman, leaving Harley Quinn out in the cold alone because she doesn't even have Poison Ivy to give her good loving at the end of the story that she was in. And yeah, they're changing this all up. So is this a good thing that they're giving a different dynamic of this relationship?
I think it can be good if they do it the right way. And I mean by, it looks like to me, DC is trying to find a way to make Harley Quinn her own character, no longer Joker's side piece or sidekick or whatever you want to call it. Try to make her a mainstay character, especially since she's got this fan base that's been growing and growing up to this point where we just had a movie. Can DC pull it off? That's the problem. I think they possibly can, but I think that's the angle they're trying to do. They're trying to bring someone else in and give Harley her just to her own comic.
Yeah, I think they did. They were taking steps in the right direction by giving her a relationship that was beneficial to her with Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
But breaking that off, I mean, that's just that seems kind of productive to me. What I really want to see, it has been far, far, far too long since someone has broken the Joker.
Okay.
If you think about it, the entire continuity of DC history, you see Batman get broken, you see Harley Quinn get broken, you see all of the other villains get broken eventually. You have never seen in print the Joker actually taking a fall like that. I mean, the closest they came is at the end of the Dark Knight Rises, when the Joker finally tells him Batman that joke, and you think at the end Batman actually kills him.
Yeah,
but that's never been confirmed, and you never actually get to see the fallout from it. I want to see a relationship that the Joker is in that actually breaks him for once. That would be something that would lead to a lot of character development for him instead of the same old bullshit over and over again.
And that's what I think leads to it. Like you mentioned a moment ago, Ken, like, you know, if DC does it right, well, we're going to talk, you know, we're talking about DC Comics. We're not talking about the movies franchise.
Well,
so
yeah,
they do things a lot better on print than they do on film. And it's been so long, you know, they've let, you know, Harley Quinn go on her separate ways. They've started building up a world around her. They've let her have her thing with Poison Ivy. And that goes all even to Injustice too. You know, they hint stories there with them. But we've always had Joker and Harley Quinn. It's never really been anything different. And I think it's definitely time for that. But the fact that this Punchline character is going to be a character that seems like she's equivalent, just as crazy and like sadistic and as manipulative as the Joker, it puts her on the same level. Whereas the entire time Harley Quinn was always like on a separate level. As you know, they've always said that she was like his little pet. You know, she would do anything for him.
Yeah.
She was, you know, just obsessed with him and being with him and trying to earn his appreciation. I think like what Aaron just said, we're going to get a character here who I think they do it right. The Joker is going to be trying to get her attention and she's going to end up breaking him. And we're going to see a different Joker here, because I think we're going to see a totally different character with this Punchline character.
I'm crossing my fingers that they actually give him the equivalent crazy that he's been throwing at everyone else the entire time he's been in syndication.
Well, if you look to that article that came out, you know, his henchmen are scared of her.
Mm-hmm.
His henchmen were never scared of Harley Quinn. They were never scared of anyone else. But the fact that they're scared of her and that that she can just come on in and without missing a step or missing a tune and just finish out what he does. I mean, that already puts her on an equivalent or greater level than what they're planning on doing with the Joker.
Yeah.
So
I'm hopeful.
Yeah, think about this though too, the potential of Harley Quinn's character. So as you mentioned already, you know, she's no longer with the Joker, and then she was with Poison Ivy. And now Poison Ivy and her are broken up, and now Joker's got a new girl. Can you see the potential of a possible major? Either two ways can go about it. Either Harley Quinn becomes as badass as Joker was, just because of the simple fact that you have to think between the two, Harley Quinn is is smarter than the Joker. She's educated. She's got the background and everything to it. Not street smart wise, but actually educated. And can you imagine someone that intelligent and twisting, turning, and how she's gone psycho, and now she's going to go emotionally messed up? She could potentially become the next big, like Joker and Harley. They could even have like their little turf war kind of. I mean, that's where I can see where DC can really make this thing. I mean, either that or she goes solely like anti-hero.
Yeah, well, look at what they did between the Joker and the Riddler in the past few years. I mean, that was a huge. I mean, and it was a great story arc, and watching the two of them duke it out with Batman in the middle of it was excellent. And seeing the Joker and Harley, because Harley Quinn has already been touted as one of the most intellectual villains in Batman's rogues gallery. I mean, she's the only person to actually break into Arkham Asylum successfully without anybody knowing it and get out without anyone knowing it. I mean, she's on that same level, but she's never had the, I guess, reason or the freedom to go to the next level as far as the Joker and Bane and all of the other
villains been left track and stuff in the comics, but some of the stuff from the chat room, because there's some really good stuff. Josh Callis, don't F with Harley. She's awesome as she is. She don't need Joker. LOL. Ruru 2, they need to hire Kevin Smith to write Harley Quinn movies. Yes. Yeah.
It would be good.
Sir Talmor, they are breaking off Harley because they need to spin her off away from the Joker and make her a hero. I think they're trying. Yeah, I think that's pretty much. Yeah. Josh,
well, they already started that in the Injustice series. I mean, she started working with Batman full time. So yeah, that's. I mean, and that was a good road to see her take. I mean, seeing her play the anti-hero was actually really fun.
Josh Callis also says that you are 100% correct, Aaron. Love to see Joker get messed up. And then Jack also said that Mrs. Malice fails at romance because he asked her how much she loved him, and she said a shit tone. Is what he spelt, but I think she meant ton. Sir Talmor said that I will take that bullshit. Joker has had 2 Academy Awards for a reason. Polyfuse says romance. I think I stepped it out in my yard before. And Sir Talmor said that Harley Quinn needs character development away from the Joker, which we all 100% agree.
Yeah.
We're not. Oh, Polyfuse says, who's worse, Jared Leto or Nicolas Cage?
Neither. I love them both.
Yeah, maybe not Leto's Joker, but I don't know. I didn't. It wasn't that bad. But we're gonna see a totally different Leto this year. That's
yes, yeah. Let's get him far away from that Joker because that Joker was garbage.
Some of the quotes from the creators of Punchline, the new character. She is Joker's number 2, a silent, terrifying serial killer, sexy as hell. All of his henchmen are terrified of her, and they should be. Imagine Joker being Joker and torturing a hostage. Then he gets tired and sighs, handing the scalpel to Punchline, who slits their throat. When she smiles, it's scary. It's not a toothy smile. It's a closed-mouth grin. She is a sadist. She enjoys killing people. She is talented at killing people. The Joker calls her the funniest person he's ever met in his life. She's a physical character, and she should be sexy. Sexy in a slinkier, darker way than Harley, who is all pep and energy. And then when talking about her dynamic, he said, like in the effed up, that she is, where did it say? She's like the effed up Archie comics, where the Joker is Archie and Harley Quinn is Betty. Punchline is Veronica. If Harley is the angel on Joker's shoulder, Punchline should be the devil. So complete polar opposite of Harley. So I think that they may end up giving you the story that you're hoping for.
I'm hoping, but the way that they're freaking phrasing it, the way that they keep referring back to Harley again and again and again, just makes me think that this is going to be a freaking revenge arc that draws her back to the Joker again, and that's going to piss me off.
Yeah, it could happen. But for once, what may end up happening is you'll have Joker crawling to Harley as opposed to Harley crawling to Joker.
Even that, I mean, just bringing the 2 of them back together again is just that's it's played out. It's unnecessary. There's so many different ways that the freaking character could go, and that doesn't seem like the best route at all.
Yeah,
not to drag it on, but Harley Quinn's just got that ability to have her own character. She's got everything set up for it. It makes sense to have her go on her own.
Yeah, okay. Not to mention the fan base. The fan base is screaming for it.
What'd you think, Nick? You didn't say anything. Thoughts?
Not really.
He agreed. He agreed with me. There you go. Moving on.
Like I don't know enough about DC Universe, Marvel, anything like that to formulate an opinion like you guys can. I'm just here along for the ride on these topics.
Josh Callis says, look, let's be real for a minute. They're pushing Harley because Margot is super hot and they got her locked in. Yeah, that's definitely part of it.
No, I mean, nobody's complaining about that. So,
are you kidding me? She was the only thing that made the freaking Suicide Squad movie halfway tolerable.
Yeah, we've said that before. So let's move on to our next story. So this movie Onward by Pixar is coming out, and Chris Pratt and Tom Holland are in it, and they were interviewing Tom Holland, and he said that him and Pratt have been talking, and they want to get the Avengers cast together to film not live because Tom Holland's already said he, if he did it live, he'd be like wigged out, not knowing if they were live or not, like we are here. But they want to get the entire Avengers cast together to sit down and do a D&D campaign.
I want to run it.
Okay, first of all, he shouldn't have to worry about if they're live or not, because I'm sure the budget's going to be slightly more than ours. Just say that.
I want to run it.
Tom Holland, he's worried about saying the wrong thing while he's.
Dude, that could totally. I kid you not. If they played it out the right way, and I want to take credit for this, if it goes early, they could totally turn that into some kind of live event, not like streaming, but live event. Book out a stadium. They would be in the middle. I guarantee it would sell out. It would be like wrestling except D&D. And all of us nerds will be sitting there just like gooing and awing over it.
That should just be this year's Hall H panel at Comic-Con.
They already had like 5 years ago or 6 years ago an entire Tumblr thread that posited the idea that the Avengers were playing a D&D campaign, and that's how the Guardians of the Galaxy came into effect.
Josh Kalish, Machinima and Avengers get combined for live cast for charity. That'd be awesome. But yeah, we all know we want this. We know this would be awesome. Seeing RDJ roll for initiative. But the question I have is, what class would each character be, and what would be their alignment?
Ooh.
Hulk. Mark Ruffalo is going to be the Baird. He's just saying. There you go. Hulk sings.
He would probably be the one that would want to steer as far away from the idea of a barbarian as you could get. So yeah.
Doesn't ScarJo and RDJ do Ome's charity every year? Maybe they can do that for the thing. Yeah, they do it. Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They do. They get regular updates on that.
How did I not know that? I'd be doing more for charity just so I can be ScarJo. Come on now.
Yeah, I could definitely see all of them trying to steer far, far away from where they normally get pigeonholed. So you'd see Iron Man going for something like a rogue or something like that instead of being the armored up freaking badass that he normally is, and seeing Hawkeye freaking take up like a barbarian role.
Hell no, Hawkeye's still going to be an archer. To hell with that, dude.
No, he'd walk away from that in a heartbeat if he could.
Josh Callis says Black Widow is 100% rogue, and Hawkeye is a Gloomstalker Ranger. You got any thoughts, Bearded or Nick?
I think you go the exact opposite with Hawkeye, and you make him go opposite from that and make him a sorcerer and let him do some magic.
That would be cool too. That would be cool too.
I feel like Jeremy Renner has that in him to be that sorcerer character behind the scene.
Yeah, and every 5 minutes he'd be like, "Suck it, Strange."
Can we get Drax going, "I cast magic missile at the darkness"?
I say you get them in costume, like what you were saying. Put them in an arena. Even better, put them in the octagon with a table in the center, and then put it on pay-per-view.
And you know what? Just to add a little extra money to it, John Williams does a live soundtrack.
Oh my God!
Take my money. Take my money.
Take my money.
Icy Toro says Iron Man started as chaotic neutral and ended up lawful good.
He's not wrong.
And Josh Callis says make Hawkeye Bard because he's so moody. Who would be the DM?
Ooh.
Chris Evans.
I was like,
Stan Lee. That's Pat. So
honestly, I think the only one that would be able to control that much chaos in one party would be Cap. I think he'd be the only one. No, Deadpool would encourage it. That campaign would get nowhere.
Could you imagine if Deadpool read it, man? That would be the most epic of all. And Ryan Reynolds in character would be perfect.
A unicorn
would get nowhere.
Your campaign.
It would never get off the. It would be bar fight after bar fight in the same tavern that they started in,
and running from bar fight to bar fight on unicorns.
Warrior needs food badly. Here's your enchilada.
No, it would be.
Sorry,
Chimichanga.
Yeah.
Chimichanga truck.
Chimichanga.
Rutu says Kevin Feige is Dungeon Master. Yeah, I figured that as well. I just thought that would be too easy. So,
No,
Thanos-
no.
Thanos is the paladin of love.
If we're gonna choose someone, if we're gonna choose someone from outside the Avengers cast, then it's definitely got to be Joss Whedon.
Oh,
Joss
you know
Whedon-
what? Hey,
Joss Whedon started the whole. He put all of the Avengers together in the first movie, and he did it perfectly. And he could do it again in.
no. You know what? There's a good one I just put in.
yeah, I see
Vision.
HGZ Grok both said Vision, which actually, that would be.
No, Vision's campaign would be so boring. Did you see him try to make chicken paprikash? Chicken paprikash with a little tiny pinch of paprika. No, Vision, bad Vision.
You got any Spirit Master or Nick?
Well, no, I before it was said, I said Joss Whedon when we first started it, so I'm on the same page with Aaron.
Okay.
Vision's all like, oh, you've entered a room and there is a class 22 monster that is about to attack you with some strange claws.
It would be the most monotone and grammatically told story ever, and you would need Deadpool to show up mid-game just to liven it up a little bit.
Just to throw Lord of the Rings there, because I love the quote for it. Vision's in the middle of this. The magician yells, "Thou shalt not pass."
God damn it!
It says Brutus said Vision will be a dumb down to Johnny 5. Just say need more input all game, and no disassemble. Okay. Let's move on. Let's move on to our last nerd news story.
Yes.
And this was the rumor mill. Comicbookresource.com reported rumors of Kang the Conqueror being involved to appear in the Loki series on Disney Plus.
Oh my God! Please. I've been talking about having Kang the Conqueror ever since freaking Thanos got dusted at the end of freaking Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
That has been my wish, that the next iteration would be him as the big bad, which would be
and
just
that's my fear. If he appears in Loki, does that put him on track to be the big bad, or is it like?
I would imagine so, because they've already talked about having crossover between the movies and the Disney Plus shows.
Well,
So-
and you got to remember, like, Loki's show is going to happen because of Endgame, with the fact that Loki took the Tesseract. Like, this is how we're getting this. So now you have that, and then you have him coming in, and he's going to be using time travel, obviously, and something's going to get mixed up there. It's going to be. I think it's going to be fantastic. This is, anyway, using him, you allow using him to bring in other characters because he's connected to the X-Men. He's connected to the Fantastic Four. You're able to bring these other properties that haven't been in the MCU yet. I mean, the dude's he's Richards, man. Come on, he's the merger to bring these other properties that we want in the MCU.
Well,
to finally
they've already had the merger. They've already brought up the fact that there's a multiverse in Spider-Man: Far From Home. So
no, I know, but they haven't brought
open.
like so Spider-Man. That there was already a partnership with Sony and Disney with Spider-Man, but there hasn't been the interjection of Fox properties. So they haven't brought in X-Men or Fantastic Four at all into the MCU yet.
Yeah, but I'm saying that door that they have, that they've already opened.
Oh, right,
and they can walk literally anything through it now.
Correct.
So yeah, I mean, having King the Conqueror is the crux for that fulcrum to springboard everything in would be beautiful. I mean, like you said, he's already tied to so many major properties that they could start from wherever they want, and I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to set it up so that based on whatever their market research tells them at the time, whatever's going to be most profitable for them, they can start with that and then build on it. And so
my only concern is that after Thanos and everything, like one of his stories was the fact that he wanted his thoughts were what was going to happen when the Infinity Stones came back together. And I love the MCU, but I really don't want to see another arc that just surrounds itself around the Infinity Stones. And I feel like
really think they will.
they could do this with him, and I don't want them to. I want to make sure they stay as far away from, like, yes, they're gonna have the Tesseract there. It's gonna probably how it's introduced, but I don't want them to go the same route of like we need to get the stones all in one place, because that was one of the things that he focused on in trying to get all the stones in one place at one time again after Thanos.
Yeah, well, I think depending on where they take the Eternal story, where they pick it up in the timeline, I mean, it could go back. I mean, it could go back to before freaking Thanos was born. I mean, he was born to the Eternals. So they could even freaking give him the freaking origin, the spark that made him the madman that he turned out to be when his mother tried to kill him. You know, I mean, they could freaking take that story anywhere. So, but I doubt that they're going to go back to the Infinity Stones, because they already, that flashpoint already happened. So they're going to probably start either well before that, like with Galactus or King the Conqueror, or with something huge that's going to be able to draw all the Eternals and what's his name, Shang-Chi or whatever
Shang-Chi.
Yeah. So they're going to draw all these stories back together again, which is going to be. I can't wait to see how they do it. I don't know how they're going to do it, but it's going to be amazing.
Well, I could tell you I do it, because I ain't gonna lie, dude. The minute I saw that article and everything they're talking about, this is incredible timing for anyone who wants to be a fan of comic book movies or Marvel or whatever you want to call it, because they've already shown once that they were able to work movies with television when they had Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. when it first started up, and it worked really well together. So now you don't have any of the BS sponsors or anything like that. It's literally Disney saying, hey, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to do it. And this is going to open up so many different things. They already talked about how they're going to bring in the Time Academy. I can't think of the name off the top of my head right now. That Kane's associated with. It was in the article. I just can't remember. It's not off the top of my head.
But I thought I had it written down.
Yeah, it's going to open up so much stuff to where now them going back in the time and fixing things was probably the way that Kane gets interjected into and saying, holy crap, like there's time travel going on. Let's get in there. And then you can start bringing in Galactus. You're talking about Silver Surfer's been out there. There's so many things that's going to go, and Loki's going to be the show that starts it. And they're going to continue doing that for a couple of years. It's going to be filler. This is awesome. This is awesome timing for all things freaking movie nerd, everything. I mean, they're going to, everyone got nervous about, hey, are the movies going to be ran out? Nope, because they're interjecting their television with it, and they're going to be able to continue it going in between making movies.
Exactly.
Some of the stuff from the chat room. Josh Callis, if they make King, let's not let him look like he did in the comics, because that's ridiculous. Which Ruru2 said they can make Mysterio's fishbowl look good. I trust their costume designers, which is a fair point from Josh Callis.
Yeah.
What do we have here? Doctor Strange introduced the multiverse in the first movie. Yep. HJZ Grok says, beware the S.H.I.E.L.D. TV plotline effect. # film adjacent. Which, they're ignoring TV, but now they have MCU is all involved in Disney Plus. So I think they'll get this right. I don't know.
You got to remember too, because they're gonna expand on the multiverse in the next Doctor Strange movie coming out in 2021. So that's gonna be, I mean, I don't know where it's gonna fall in the release schedule, if it's gonna come out before Loki or after Loki, but that's gonna have a huge impact on what they're allowed to show, what timelines it's going to open up, and what doors it's going to open up for them to introduce new things. So that's something to look forward to too.
In the way of not doing the Infinity Stones again, they could do other cosmic artifacts. Guardians of the Galaxy introduces.
We still have Adam Warlock to look forward to too.
Ruru wants to know if Luke Wilson is an Eternal.
He's something, all right.
And Josh Callis said, you think now that Sony is playing game, you think they're going to bring back the Phoenix or Sentinels?
Absolutely. I think I think Disney's going to do, or Marvel, Disney, whoever you want to call it, is going to do exactly what we're all expecting and hoping they do. They wipe out a lot of the BS, not all of it though, because they're already talking about trying to get Hugh Jackman back in with the claws again and get him as Wolverine. So it's not like they want to erase everything of it, but they definitely want to bring the good parts of it back, and they have the ability to do that now since the multiverse is going to be able to open everything up. We're going to see mutants. We're going to see everything that we want to see on the big screen the way we want it to. Not Galactus as a big freaking cloud trying to whatever crap.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, let us know what your thoughts are on if King shows up. Once again, right now it's a rumor. That's why I classified as hashtag rumor because nothing is solidified.
Not a sponsor. Not a sponsor.
Yeah. So, but what we do know for sure is this little trailer that we ended up seeing, and we're going to talk about that in our In a World segment.
In a city, in a town, in a world, they thought they had it all figured out. But there was one thing they didn't plan on.
This is when we react to trailers that came out this week, and there was one big one, and I think this is the best trailer from this series yet. But the Westworld season 3 trailer came out, and
fire.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Does somebody want to give me a breakdown of what happened in the trailer?
Not even.
What's going on there?
I could kind of give you some sort of something because to be perfect, out of all of us, I think I'm the one that hasn't watched. I don't think I've watched all the first season. So I can kind of give you a super Whovian effect of, wait, I thought it was in the country. Now we're in the city. What the hell did I miss?
I'll give it. So, main thing, you've got Aaron Paul being introduced as Caleb. Him and Dolores are teaming up to take down people. Lots of stuff going on with the Man in Black. He's going to save the effing world, as he says in the trailer. They're in the real world. Maeve is back. We were wondering why, but she's back because she's sent to take down Dolores. So we have AI versus AI. Yeah. that's the gist of it. Oh, and Marshawn Lynch is a henchman in it.
Marshawn Lynch?
Yeah, you didn't see that in the trailer?
No, I totally missed that.
He's walking behind Aaron Paul in the scene.
Beast mode's in it.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw it on my small phone. Apparently, I have to put it on the big screen to see that. I don't know.
Bro, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, see, there you go. Nick and I are on the same page.
Yeah.
I saw Aaron Paul. And I was like, oh, snap. This thing just got leveled up real quick.
But I wasn't looking for it either, so.
Yeah, it's because he wasn't running through people and throwing Skittles all over the place. That's why he didn't notice.
I can honestly say I've never been as big a fan of Westworld as most people have. I mean, I never got onto the boat. I never did. But this trailer makes me want to. Introduction of Aaron Paul, seeing Tessa Thompson again, seeing Marshawn Lynch as a freaking cameo. I mean, that was pretty cool.
He actually has a pretty in-depth character. I don't know.
Yeah, but even in just the context of the trailer, he's just a cameo as far as I'm concerned. But seeing the way that they put it together and seeing how they've woven the first 2 seasons into the third, and the overall tone of it and the overall just beauty of it, because it's a beautiful freaking trailer. I mean, just all of it was gorgeously done. All the cinematography, all the language.
Sweet Child of Mine playing.
No, it was beautiful. And like I said, I've never been into the series at all, but this made me want to get into it. I've seen so many freaking clips, so many freaking other things from the first 2 seasons, and I've never been interested. But this is actually,
we're gonna shame you now, like we shame Vader. You need to go watch.
Shame.
I do.
Shame.
And this is it's calling to me now, man.
I will say that the CGI and the special effects for the androids were phenomenal, man. I really dug those. Like, I have no idea what they're doing with stuff right now because, like I said, I didn't get through all the first season, but it looks awesome.
Saturday nights, we're gonna have you guys sit down, watch it on a stream together, and
it works for me.
You all have to binge it and talk about it.
I will give you all the reaction videos.
What'd you think, Nick?
Dude, I've been hooked on the show since probably season 1, episode 3. I know the first couple of episodes are kind of building it up, but I absolutely love this show. I'm so excited for it to come back. It's probably one of my top 5 favorite shows of all time. There's a lot going on. It's really hard to dissect really what's going on other than we all know. I don't want to do any spoilers for those who haven't seen, but
earmuffs. Take the headphones off really quick.
I don't have.
Can't hear anything. Go for it.
Go ahead, Nick.
Oh, he's taking the headphones off because he doesn't want spoilers.
Yeah, go ahead.
But basically, we all kind of know what's going to be unfolding a little bit with from the wrap up of season 2. But we still, with the way the show has progressed, nobody's really going to know really how this is going to unfold, which is why the show is so great, because you can't predict it.
Here's the crazy thing about this trailer. It's a long trailer, and it looks like it gives away so much stuff, but it's really not giving anything away. Like, you really still don't know
predict it.
What's going on. Yeah. Bearded Master. Reaction.
Yeah, I watched, like, there was multiple different links that I went through and watched more. I just kept watching them because it just made me amped and hyped to watch the season to come back on. I've always been enjoying it. It was always one thing that I put on HBO. When everything else was off, Game of Thrones or Ballers were off, so I threw that on. But yeah, it's kind of mainstream. The fact that more, it's like looks like it's all city now, taking away the Western feel, which kind of drew me in. We'll see what's. The whole premise of the show is fantastic, and now they've added some even more heavy hitters to it. Just like as soon as I saw Aaron Paul walking, I'm like, oh crap, this is gonna get better, even better and better. This is gonna be fantastic.
Josh Callis says, if you watch the old movie, I think they'll follow that route. West goes into the future, and Rebellion begins, and Men in Black is his own weird side story, which has kind of been he's been his own weird side story the last couple seasons. So, the trailer looks so stinking good. The only thing that I caught with the trailer was like Dolores looked like at the beginning of it with Aaron Paul, she looked like the early version of Dolores. She only had her head covered, and the rest of the skeleton was. But then she started putting on the skin, so maybe she got smuggled out of Westworld that way into the real world. I don't know.
Who knows? And it's also something that kind of think about is like, why would Aaron Paul be helping her? She's like insane.
Well, she said that he, he was put into a cage, and the same people that held him down or held her down, or something. I don't know. So
no spoilers.
Yeah, that's a yeah.
No
we'll see how it unfolds.
Yeah. So I don't know. But I guarantee that there'll probably end up being like an after talk show or something like we did with Game of Thrones for this. So,
all right.
But last thing to talk about, because somebody's got to talk about it.
We need to talk.
You talking to me?
Oh my God! Who told you?
Have you told anyone else about this?
What you talking about?
Look who's talking.
Somebody's got to talk about is those weird stories, those odd stories, those stories that somebody just has to talk about. Sometimes because they're just so damn cool that you can't wait for them to come. There's a Batman themed restaurant being opened in London called Park Row. And this is okay. It is an 18,000 square foot venue in the heart of London. You enter into the venue through an area that looks like the Batcave. You descend into it. There's 3 bars, 5 dining environments. Now they start at $58 per person. You have British dishes in a library atmosphere at Pennyworth's. You have Old Gotham City villainous Speakeasy, which serves drinks and has a sushi in an area themed after Harley Quinn. There's the largest restaurant, which is Penguin's Iceberg Lounge, that is going to serve international menu and live entertainment. And you also have the Monarch Theater, which is the most expensive restaurant there, average of $155 per person, but it brings DC Comics stories to life on its walls.
See?
Based off that, I'll go into who makes this, but based off of that, what do you guys think?
I'm intrigued.
Why isn't it in LA? Why didn't they come out with that in LA first before London? Because
Warner Brothers' hotbed right now is London with The Cursed Child and tours for The Cursed Child, and they have some museum they just bought for DC that's going to be next to it. That's their hotbed for themed stuff right now. So that's why they're doing
honestly, it was a good move not to put in LA, because let's be perfectly frank, man, LA is just saturated with so much crap nostalgia restaurant stuff that I think it wouldn't have the effect. I mean, if they would put it anywhere in the US, they might as well just throw it freaking in the middle of New York and start there. Yeah. But no, doing it in London is a great idea, because it's the international idea, and then it's going to establish itself as either really good or really crappy, and they'll either be able to cut ties or see like, all right, cool, it's great here. Now let's put it in the U.S. somewhere.
Not only that, but you look at who's going to be going to this in London to a Batman themed. It's going to be Americans. We're going to go there. We know.
That's what I'm saying.
I plan
to be in America.
And one of my big things is going to be the Warner Brothers Studio Tour for Harry Potter and visit all those. And that's key. If I'm going to London, I guarantee you that's the first thing I'm doing. Now there's a Batman themed bar and restaurant there. That may take a back turn page on that one. I don't even care. If I'm already spending the money to go out there, $150 a plate at the nice restaurant, yeah, I'm already spending the money, so might as well. But it's going to be hard to it's multiple bars and restaurant sections of this place. It's basically going to be a week's worth just there alone. It's fantastic. Now, the only question is, do I go in dressed up as, the Riddler? Do I go in dressed up in my bat suit? If I walk in with a cowl, are they going to kick me out? Just random questions like that.
Only if you got
Batman. Do I pack my Batman suit in my suitcase and then get searched at the TSA and they know I'm Batman? I don't know, but that's something to worry about.
Worth it, absolutely worth it.
I mean, think of it this way: it's literally going to be like a bar crawl, all in the same restaurant. It's awesome, dude.
I'll spend the entire day there. I'll start at 8 o'clock in the morning and work my way through all the way up to the $150 place.
You like Disney World, and you got Epcot. People just go to all the different bars around the world right there. You can do that in London. The one thing that I will say, if you look at all the pop-up restaurants and theme stuff that happens in not in the States, but just in LA alone. We've had the Saved by the Bell pop up. We've had the Stranger Things ice cream parlor pop up. We've had things for other movies and shows, and they are extremely successful. And therefore, pop up short period pop up.
There's at least one. There's at least one that I know of that's come in Villainy Cantina that was just a pop up that was supposed to only be for like a month, maybe two. Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday and Sunday, or Friday and Saturday. And they ended up making enough revenue that they are now permanent. They're there forever.
Well, here's the thing. Pop-ups.
They've done the Moe's Tavern and the Clam from Family Guy as well.
Yeah.
Pop-ups. Two things. First of all, I would love to see Bearded Master in a bat suit. That would be quite astonishing. Two, Mess, how long did you wait in line the freaking Taco Bell at Comic-Con?
Well, that was a special event. But yes, that was 4 hours.
I mean, that's the thing. You had the same size freaking food that was in the movie, and you waited 4 hours to eat that. And why'd you do that? Because it was the nostalgia, right?
Oh yeah, and because you only got it that weekend. So,
well, but that's the thing, though.
This is the difference from a pop-up to this. This is going to be there forever, unless
it makes sense.
Here's the other difference from a pop-up to this. I'm going to give you some details about this. Like I told you what the restaurants are, but like the Iceberg Lounge. It's an Art Deco style in it. It's going to be covered in marble. Illuminated columns will surround a circular central bar, which will have a giant ice sculpture of a penguin in the middle. Miniature models of the eponymous villain's black umbrella hide the lights on the round marble dining tables, which will be encircled by blue velvet banquet seating. They're literally getting the guy that designed the interiors for London's O2 Dome and 3 World Trade Center. Like they're not going.
That's ridiculously elaborate. Holy crap, man.
And then on top of that, the people that are being the ones that they're working with in terms of like making the food for the restaurants, these are people that have 3 Michelin stars doing this.
Yeah, of course.
The consultant that they're using works for a thing called Wonderland, which I think if it's the same thing as what was on the Royal Caribbean ship, I went to a place called Wonderland, and it's literally like different foods that they use gases to enhance the food. Like it comes out in a gas. It's just crazy weird stuff. That they have
very no expense, John Hammond style.
Yeah, seriously.
They really are not.
We've come a long way from Chilean sea bass, people.
Yeah, so their director of creative, their food innovative director and creative director ensures that the food will be The type of cookery he uses science to develop food that can be presented in unexpected ways, such as solid cocktails, fruit jelly caviar, and vegetable foams. He broke new ground because of his experimental kitchen, because of his background in chemical engineering. He made a dish. Where is it at? It's like a blah, 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 blah. It gives indication of how Park Road could mix food and fun, as Big Al is famous for inventing edible balloons, which are filled with helium and taste of green apples.
I'm down for the bat chops.
Really weird, crazy stuff. Yeah. So, I mean, you have your pop-ups, but then this thing is going above and beyond what a pop-up is. Like, they're like, we're not just going to make sugary treats and stuff that, like, hey, here's a cool nostalgia thing. We're going to give you a full-on dining experience that's also a dinner show.
I think it's a great idea. I mean, one of the greatest experiences I've ever had was when I was 18 or 19, and they opened up a Gotham-themed nightclub in San Bernardino, and it was amazing. It was one of the greatest freaking times I've ever had in my life, and they didn't really even have to do anything that was specifically tied to Batman. Just the aesthetic of the place, the fact that it looked like something that was ripped straight out of Tim Burton's freaking Tim Burton's movies was enough for me to get into being part of Gotham. And it was, if they can pull off what they're saying that they can pull off in these advertisements, then it might be worth just going to London for that.
Brewer 2 says they have Mr. Freeze bring you ice cubes, and he'll make Arnold ice puns, which you said nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
They will have Joker mixed drinks for sure. I mean, they're going to have themed stuff. Sub-Zero mint infused vodka with peppermint liquor and soda with pea blossom bitters for the blue color. See,
wow.
They need to hire you, Josh. You need to go.
That's elaborate.
Yeah, you need to go and help design stuff for it. So,
I hope they put a Justice League thing to it, because I want the Wonder Twins gift set where one's a cup and the other one's the liquid that goes inside.
Yeah, Josh is like, I'm a mixologist. So, okay, that's that. Unless you guys have any other thoughts about this restaurant or how fast you're going to be going to London to go check it out.
As soon as they announce it, I'm booking.
I will be glad to put my application in as a dishwasher.
Yeah, why not?
I'm definitely going to check it out if I ever get to London. That's it. That's our cast for this week. So we're going to finish this out with talking about where to follow everybody. Masonic Vader, where can people follow you outside of the cast?
They can follow me on Twitter at Masonic Vader, PlayStation Network, Masonic Vader 71, and you can try to now kill me on Fortnite at Masonic Vader 71. Have fun.
Nick, where can people follow you?
Raider0314 on Twitter, as well as PlayStation Network.
Mr. Bearded Master.
In the name, A Bearded Master on Twitter and Instagram, as well as Boot to the Face with the number 2 on Twitter, Boot to the Face with the number 2 _ on Instagram.
And Aaron.
I am Das Newport Kid on Twitter, Instagram, and Xbox Live and PlayStation Network too. So
awesome. And if you want to check out our website, malice-corp.com, there is a new article for the Buffy recap series that IC Zorro and Super Hoovy and Nut are doing. So, or Super Hoovy and Freak. It's Nut on Twitter. Sometimes there's Nut, sometimes there's not. Yeah.
Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't.
And I feel like a nut after saying that. Okay. You can follow me on Twitter at @Mest_Malice Corp or on Instagram at Mest5150. Check out this podcast anywhere and everywhere. Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, YouTube, wherever you're following. Make sure that you're dropping comments, that you're reviewing, and doing us one favor. Just one. That's all we ask. Tell one person about it. If you have a friend that you think would like this, tell them about it. Tell them to come check it out. Tell them to come join us on Fridays. And lastly, we do have a group on Facebook, facebook.com/group/all things nerd podcast. We have a lot of fun over there. Come join us over there and drop whatever memes, whatever you want to drop over there. So, with that, that's the show. Thank you guys so much for coming. and keep nerding on.